Yeah, recording has been started.
Right on the right side.
So when Ryan has his back to you, and keep in mind that's the perfect opportunity that we can, go for sleeps, go for nades. We're always looking to use our abilities aggressively. Also remember, every time that that we have the opportunity to, we should be reloading, so we're not sitting at 5 ammo.
I have your back.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
Watching your back.
Okay, really focus on the people who need healing the most, right? So that's called like target priority. So think about who's in the most danger, who's the lowest HP. If somebody's just down a couple
Heroes never die.
HP, right, and then Reinhardt's critical up fighting their whole team, then that might be a situation where we might want to go for a nano, or not a nano on Reinhardt, but heal the Reinhardt over those people.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. Die wieder. You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay.
Okay.
And make sure you're paying attention to kill feed. So kill feed will let you know when you're winning or losing a fight. When you're up 1 to 2 people, because in that fight you'd already won, so Nanoblade is not needed. When you're up 1 to 2 people, that's an advantage. When you're up 2 to 3 people, that means that you have pretty much already won the fight. That means you no longer want to use your ultimates. That means that you want to push super aggressive, because when you have advantages, you push aggressive. When you won the fight, you want to play aggressive. But that also goes the opposite way too, right? When you're down 1 to 2 people, you play more passive. When you're down 2 to 3 people, that is a lost fight, and you no longer want to use your ult, and you also are going to want to look to get out, right? And if you can't get out, you try to die, so that you're not staggering.
Right, back up, Ryan.
Take your medicine.
Make sure you're putting yourself in line of sight to see your whole team. So if we see a Reinhardt that far forwards, maybe being up where our D.Vas, that might be a better position for us.
Name.
Nice sleep.
Heroes never die.
I have your back.
The white tiger becomes me.
60 seconds remaining. Watching your back.
Right, very rarely are we going for aggressive anti-nades. I like to see that a lot more often. Antis are how you get value on Ana. Regular healing is just how you do your job. Antis is how we're going to carry the game. So be looking to land those antis a lot more often. When I coached you last time, what character did we go over? Did we go over Ana?
Kind of at the end for about 20 minutes, but we didn't really focus on her. So now I kind of want to focus more on her.
All right, so then there might be some tech stuff that we can go over after this. But big thing is just look for situations where we can use nade.
Oh, I should have not jumped down to try to save the Rhine.
Objective lost. It'll take more than that to keep me out of the fight.
My ultimate's ready.
You're covered.
Enemy sighted. Ladies and gentlemen,
Go.
my
I will be here.
creation.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Oh, unfortunate.
Your strength fades. I see.
Heroes
You're
never
going
die.
Nap time.
Right, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that we're gonna go over after this game, so good thing is quick play. That way we don't have
Yeah,
to
no worries.
wait for the rest.
لسه في ناس لازم احميهم.
Mecha activated.
Okay. Here we're probably gonna look to try to position up on that top middle high ground rather than just running to the sides. As it's gonna give us good positioning to and a good high ground. Okay, good sleep on Bob.
Oh. Oh.
The white tiger becomes
Helden
me.
sterben nicht.
In that situation, don't try to go touch point because look, you can see like Genji could touch point, right? So keep up ticks. You going to point and trying to die isn't gonna really accomplish much. So unless they're about to cap point, just stay off and wait for somebody else to go
You're going
touch.
to be okay.
So touch the last possible second. Right now we want to be looking for the aggressive anti. Good job, right? You heal Ryan and you get the anti, so that security kill him kept him alive.
Take your medicine.
Okay. Look for aggressive sleeps too, right? Do they have anything on their team that you're gonna need to save sleep for in particular? Right, they're not really on flankers and on dive, so we're gonna want to look to throw out sleeps just as often as our antis, just at Hog, at Ryan, right, at anybody.
Rendezvous at my position.
Like if you see a Hog ulting down there, just we look at him and you toss in a sleep. Pay attention to your critical teammates.
No power down. Get in there. The pain.
Well,
Oh, let's break it. You feel I'm better get a fiery because I'm on a
All right, so you have good
No, I
reload
don't.
manage. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was just talking. My bad. Go ahead.
I think you have good reload management. You you also have pretty decent aim. We're gonna go over a lot of stuff now, but there's a few different areas that I think could use improvement. I'd probably say particularly the biggest area is our ability usage. So like I said before, nade is the biggest
Never stop fighting
that kind
for
of
what you
utility that you have
believe
on Ana. A 6-man anti-nade a lot of the time will get more value than like a nano boost. So we got to be looking for situations where we can use our nades aggressively. Now we're gonna go over a few different things here on Ana. First off, I think we do pretty good when it comes to knowing how to be behind cover, but there are some specific Ana position that we're gonna go over in a moment here. But first, we're going to go over when to use your different types of scoping. So on Ana, you have your unscope shot, you have your scope shot, and you have your quick scope shot. The 3 different types of scopes. Okay. Your unscope shot is going to be used within 10 meters away from somebody. Okay. That means from here to there on a squishy target. So any non-tank. Okay. Anything past that is going to be a scoped shot on a squishy. Okay.
Okay.
15 meters is going to be your unscoped for a tank since they have bigger hitboxes. Anything past that on a tank is going to be scoped in. Okay. Now, quick scoping takes a little bit of each. So, unscoped, the disadvantage of a scope shot, right, is that you lose visibility, right? You can't see as much, and you also lose movement speed. Okay, so this makes you a lot easier to kill, but this also increases it means that you're better at a range, right? You can use you're zoomed in so you can see better. It becomes an instant shot rather than a projectile. And on top of that, it means that you have a slowed sensitivity, right? So what quick scoping does, which this is a quick scope, right? That's when you now keep your mobility, you keep your visibility, but you get the instant shot, and you get the little bit of a slowed sensitivity. So when this is applicable is in 2 main situations. One, when you're under pressure. So when you're under pressure, right? So let's say we have a Genji on top of us. So Genji's dancing around their head, and we see that we have a teammate over there who is critical HP, right? We can quick scope our teammate without having to stand still and let the Genji shoot at us for free, and lose all of our visibility. Whereas an unscoped shot from that distance might be a lot harder to land because of how far away it is.
Okay.
Now, if they're right next to us, we don't have to do the quick scope, right? Here we can just do the unscope shot, right? If Genji's on top of us.
Hmm.
The other time when we can use it is when we're moving, trying to take space while shooting people. So let's say our team's up there and we're coming out of spawn, or we're just super far behind our team and we're trying to move forwards. Well, we can't sit here and scope because then we're moving forward super slowly, right? And then they run around the corner and then we can't see them anymore, and then we have to go a long ways forwards, and then by that time they're all dead. So in this situation, we might want to, if they're moving around and not just standing still, we're gonna like quick scope while we're moving forward so that we can still be hitting them accurately at a range while moving forwards and not sacrificing movement speed. But you're not going to want to quick scope all the time because of the fact that you are going to be sacrificing your shot speed, right? Your recovery time in between shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
اسمع كلام
Now on
الأخبار
Ana, you have three different. Ana has pretty specific positioning. You're gonna look to check off 3 different boxes when it comes to her positioning. I think you already do very well, and you use cover pretty decently. When you position, you look to
You're
position
going
on
to
high
be
ground, so you look
okay.
to position using cover. I just think that we're lagging slightly on a specific department. So you have 3 boxes. First off, can we see our team? Now this is applicable when our team's all running away from us, right? If Reinhardt is all the way up there, right, and we're sitting around this corner, we can't see him. So we need to make sure that we can put ourselves in line of sight of him. So if our team's standing right here, we're going to use this analogy as if our team's standing here. We need to make sure that we're able to see our team. We're not too far away and around corners where we can't see them. And this was applicable in our last game when Reinhardt pushed forwards and we weren't there to push forwards with him. We were sitting too far out in the
Okay.
back. Okay, so if that's the first box, you always want to make it so that you can see the majority of your team at all times. Now, if our whole team's right here,
Healing enough.
and Genji's all the way over there, right, then that's not something we have to worry about. Genji's doing his own thing. We let him come to us. We don't go to try to chase him down. Okay. Second box we're trying to check off is, can the enemy team see us? If we are standing here, right, and we're healing our teammates,
I'll keep you
since we're not shooting at the enemy team, there's no reason for us to be able to see the enemy team, because then this means we're taking a bunch of spam damage. We have the risk of dying to just random spam damage, right? So even if we have a shield in front of us, things like shields can break, shields go down. They have a bit like fire strike and coalescence can go through shields. So we're just taking a lot of unnecessary damage. When what we could do is just come and sit behind cover, right? And then now the enemies can't see us, and we can still heal our team. So
Yeah.
if we're in the middle of healing, which is gonna be most of the time on Ana, we don't want the enemy team to be able to see us. So that's the second box. Enemy team can't see us.
Be okay.
Third box they're looking to check off is, can we land nades and sleeps effectively? Now we're coming back to this analogy. Team standing right here. Okay, enemy team standing right here.
This will help.
If we're standing right here, right, we have our entire team in front of us. We have shields in front of the enemy team. It's gonna be difficult to land the nade. Okay, so we can do a few different things to make this nade a lot easier to land. So we can move to the side of our team so that they're not standing in front of them, or like right here, right, if we're trying to throw a nade, they just interrupt it. What we do is instead we move to the side, right, so that the nade becomes easier. We can take an off angle, which the off angle is going to be a really, really big one. Okay, that means that if we're standing right here, this is now an off angle position. If our team is full HP, right, no one's about to die, we can take a 3-second detour and go 1, 2, 3, and now we're in a super safe position to where we can get nade on them from above on pretty much everybody, right? That 6-man anti means that we can pretty much win the fight off of it, and we can drop to our team if we need to. We can heal and sleep from here, right? So this is gonna be really good positioning. This is another type of off angle right through here, right? And then we can back up. An off angle is not a flank. The difference between an off angle and a flank is an off angle is fast, and an off angle is safe. A flank would be if we did this and we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, taking twice the time, making it so that our teammates are probably gonna be dying on the front line. From here, we're gonna have enemies in the way, which means we can't heal our team, and this is very risky, and we're probably gonna end up dying here because all they have to do is turn around and look at us. So this is a flank. You don't want to go for flanks. You want to go for off angles.
Okay.
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 We can also look to run ahead. So if we're playing on this corner, we can kind of walk ahead of our team and walk past their shields and go like this and then back up, right? The big thing is we're just trying to get past our team so that our team doesn't get in the way, and we're getting past the enemy team so that we can get past their shields and the people in the front line.
Okay.
When we're looking to land nades, make sure we're not trying to hit people with nades. If we try to hit people,
Block it off.
1, they're very hard to hit. 2, they end up blocking it from hitting the other person. Your nade range has a very, very huge radius, so if we're throwing it at the ground, it's going to be a lot easier to land, as well as even if we're throwing it at the feet over here, that's still going to purple both of them because of the giant radius. So whenever we're landing nades, we're trying to hit the feet in between all of them.
Okay.
Yep. Now, did I show you the scope and nade tech last time?
Yes, you did.
Yep.
With
Okay.
the Q and the ult.
Yep. Be looking to use that a lot more often because I'm not seeing you use it very much, and this is very, very, very useful for landing it at mid to longer ranges, right? Because we should be looking to use our nade more often, right? When we're pretty far away from the enemy team, right? So if we're positioned up here on the high ground, we just chuck in a nade, right, at them so that we can, of course, miss it. But you chuck in a nade, and especially if they're all grouped up, that becomes a lot easier.
Okay.
Okay. I think also keep in mind that when we're tossing in nades, a lot of time if they're all clumped up and they're all in the same area, it becomes very easy to land sleeps and nades, right? So if we know that they're all moving in a straight line, they're all coming through that little choke point. All you have to do is just toss in a nade in a straight line or a sleep in the straight line at the doorway. All you have to do is just toss a nade at the doorway, and that's that was a very terrible nade. Or we can line it up, and that's going to be a lot better, right? And then it becomes a lot easier to land that shot. I'm trying to think because I think I had one more thing, but I can't remember.
Go to sleep.
I think that should be it. So you can probably go ahead and hop in another game.
Okay, let me queue. So really, I have to work on more of just using my
Abilities, yes, is a big thing, and then positioning, and then I'll talk about your ultimate usage once we get into the game here.
Okay.
And now spectating. So the first thing we're doing every single game is we're looking at our team comp and the enemy team comp as well, right? What we can do as Ana when we look at our team comp is think about the big thing is we can think about what characters are we looking to nano. Thinking about the top 3 priorities, right? Who's the first best person nano, who's the second best person, who's the third best person. That way, if the best person dies or if they don't have their ult, we have a second priority and so forth for the third priority. Right, so if you were to look at this comp real quick, who would be your top 3 in order?
It would be definitely the Reinhardt. Would probably be my first priority because he's going to be our main tank, and I'm going to want to keep him up when he puts his shield down. Roadhog would either be my, I want to say third, mainly because he has self heal, but then like there are times where he won't. And then I wouldn't nano the junk or the widow too much. Probably not at all.
Yeah.
One, because the junk is just too low of a level.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't nano junk, widow, or Zenyatta because you don't want to ever nano skill shot heroes. And Roadhog isn't going to be great when he doesn't have his ultimate. So I would probably say Roadhog is number 1 when he has his ultimate. Reinhardt is number 2 as a base, and then Roadhog is number 3 as a base if he doesn't have his ult. Okay.
I have your back.
Okay, right now, if you don't mind, would you like me to kind of shock off for you and tell you when I would be doing certain things? So right now,
that would work.
Walk up to where your widow is, right? You want to just walk forwards, and we're looking for a nade down on them from above. Yep. Right now, we're looking for the aggressive anti-nade. Yep, exactly what you just did. And try to place it in the feet of as many people as possible.
Take your medicine.
Yep. Now we're just looking for healing. We probably look to just stay on those stairs, right? Because we can see your team from the stairs. Right now, I'd be looking for like a scope nade. Right. And now they're all dead, so.
Pressure behind again.
Die feeder.
Okay. Good job. Good health pack awareness, good map awareness too. Probably requesting healing or nading ourselves, right? Pay attention to our health bar so that we're not sitting at 120. Right? Or grab a health pack too, that's another good option. Right now we're pressing tab and looking, okay, Roadhog is nano. We're probably going to look to nano Roadhog here. Right? Because that way he can ult and keep them all off point and whatnot. Oh. Try not to get right next to the Junkrat when you're killing him. Okay, fight is 1, so we're looking to get aggressive. We can hopefully get better positioning. Remember, that's the range where you're scoping in on the Zenyatta.
I have your back.
So it's just kind of freaking out right now, and I'm just trying to fix it.
Your mouse?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think there's something on like the light sensor.
Huh.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
Okay. Right now, again, I'm probably gonna look to Nano Roadhog here. Just want to make sure that he's like in position to use it. Preferably there.
Be ready. I'm gonna nano you.
Preferably here, we'd be up on the high ground. Yep. Oh, if you saw Reinhardt doing that, that's also a situation where you can try to nano him too, right?
Oh, 3K.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay, and get super aggro, right? We're trying to pick up these kills, right? They only have 2 people left alive in there. Okay, Silver. Oh, right now, instead of positioning up here, we want to be looking to position up on their high ground, not this high ground. So we go top
Up
right.
there.
Yep, up there. Yep. Be where a Widow is, basically. So we're rotating a little bit slowly. We want to make sure that rotation is happening right as we're winning the fight there.
Watching your back.
Nice pre-aiming with the Widow. That means you have, I think you have pretty good crosshair placement. You're keeping your crosshair where it needs to be.
Go.
Oh, no reason to drop there.
God.
Just gave up high ground for free. Okay, be careful. If we're pressing tab, they just swapped up their comp. They have a Tracer and a Monkey now, so we're paying attention to that and we're watching for them.
Heal up.
Yep. Nasaling and needed for healing if something's critical and we need it for burst healing. Right, Roadhog might have been critical, but he didn't have anything shooting at him, so it's not every single time somebody's critical or we're gonna need it.
Get in there.
Right now we're looking for an aggressive nade. Yep, good job. Exactly what you're looking to do.
You're covered.
Good awareness on who needed that healing. Looking for aggressive nade again. Oh, tunnel visioning on the Reinhardt, right? We're ignoring what's happening behind us.
Oh.
Right. There, Reinhardt wasn't critical, it wasn't about to die. We dropped from high ground, we ignored Zenyatta who is getting murdered by Monkey, right? And then Monkey ended up killing us because we weren't paying attention to him fast enough, right?
And then Monkey was also nanoed, so I shouldn't have done it either way.
Right, yep. And right now, our team wants to be regrouping if we can. So if we were in comp, we might have been like communicating that or saying it to our team.
I will keep you. The payload is approaching its destination. Healing in hand.
Good self nade. Yep. I think our decision making is very good, and our awareness of what's happening around us. I think our decision making and awareness are very solid. I think we're just struggling slightly with positioning and ability usage, and ult usage are probably the main things.
I've seen. You're going.
Okay, we got picks. We probably can look to Nano Reinhardt here, at least when he's close to something. I don't know why he's playing passive. What's Reinhardt doing? No clue. But now I'm questioning it because we're down. We only have 3 people or 4 people right now.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
And remember, we're looking for aggressive anti-nades. So right now we're looking to open up with something, right? We can just kind of scope in, lug it in, try to get it behind the shield.
Take your medicine. You're powered up. Get in there.
And now on the Roadhog is just a little bit late. We didn't pay attention to it. So we're steady aim right up until the sleep. Make sure we're not trying to just flick the sleep. That stays kind of steady the same way that we're trying to hit our shots.
Okay.
It's big fat target standing right in front of us. We miss it mainly because we're panicking or we're flicking. Versus if we just hold it steady, it's not gonna end up missing. Here we want to wait for our we're down people, so we preferably wouldn't be pushing in without them. But we can also look to position high ground here. Oh, now since okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. Teams pushing in without everybody. Okay. Try not to panic when he dives you. You have a good 3 seconds before he Teslas you to death, right? So don't launch it immediately when he dives you. Wait an extra second. Make sure you're not shooting into his shield and then sleep it. Right?
Okay.
You have roughly 3 or 4 seconds to line it up, so don't feel like you need to do it in the first second. So expect the shield to come. Expect whenever he jumps on you is gonna boop you, so expect the boop. So wait until after he hits you, or try to do it before he hits you. You can do it right as he's hitting you. Okay, good positioning. Same thing. Right? Exactly, right? You can see how just that extra second of waiting ends up in you surviving. You can also, if you're trying to do it faster, you can back up, or you can also look to step inside of his bubble and get him. Oh, watch your health, right? Need to be nading yourselves and grabbing the health back, right? Okay. There we just kind of froze up after we landed the sleep. Look to nade yourself. Look to get the health pack fast. And then we also didn't really heal anybody. We just kind of stood there.
It'll take more than that to keep me out of the fight.
Yep. Next time he dives you, another thing to keep in mind is we can also try stepping inside of his bubble rather than just backing up. That works especially if he is kind of stuffing you and you don't have anywhere to run. Now our team keeps continuously going in one by one without us being full 6. Now if we were communicating, we'd say, hey guys, group up, we're down 2 people, right? Back up, back up. You can call specific people like you can say, Symmetra, back up, we're down 2 people. Right? Junkrat, don't go in. That type of deal. We're down 3 people, so we're probably not looking for Nano. Alright, yep, pay attention to the kill feed, pay attention to what's happening around you, right? Because even though we land that Nano, probably not going to win that fight, right? As you see, didn't win the fight.
Yeah.
So if we know that we're down 3 people, that's a situation where we hold on to our ult. Okay, look to retake that high ground, expect Monkey to be there, right? So we're already, yep, we just see him leap up, so probably look to try to shoot him, try to land the sleep on him.
Oh.
Very nice kill. Good job not panicking with it, even after we missed the sleep.
10 seconds. We're almost out of time.
Anti-nade. Oh, that's perfect. All right, yeah, but we just missed the opportunity, right? Because we're not looking for it. Right? They don't have a shield. All 4 of them are grouped up. That's just a situation where I'm seeing that, and I'm saying, oh wow, 4-man anti-nade, sweet.
Go to sleep. Get here.
Stop. The only reason why I didn't mention anything sooner on that nade was because I thought that you were looking for it because you were kind of staring at him. But yeah, okay. Make sure that you're actively. I'd probably say the biggest 2 things so far are ability usage and positioning, right? Making sure we're in the right position to where we can check off all those boxes, and making sure we're looking for those aggressive nades and aggressive sleeps. Because currently, a lot of our nades are not looking for the anti, when most of the time, roughly like 60% of our nades should be looking for the anti. How our nade usage works is we should be default is anti, and then you heal if it's needed, right? So it's gonna be needed a decent amount of time, 40 to 50% of the time, but you should be on default looking for the anti nade. But if you're low, if your teammate's critical and they need burst healing, now let's say your teammates behind cover, they're in your spawn, they're safe. That's not a situation where the anti is needed because you can just regular heal them up. But if they're getting shot at and they're in the middle of the enemy team, then we need that burst healing to keep them alive, right? So there are going to be situations where nade is going to be needed for the healing, but on default, we're looking for the anti.
Okay, so focus more on antis rather than healing.
Yep.
When would be like a good time to heal like your team when they're grouped up or like when
When you need it, so the reason why you'd use healing, the nade for healing, is essentially because you can burst heal. So you heal them up super fast by hitting them with your heal, your anti, or your nade, and then your like some more healing, right? So it's a fast way to heal somebody. So if you have multiple people who are critical, if you have somebody who's about to die, then you shoot them, you toss nade, you shoot them again, and then that heals them up really fast. You can use
okay.
you can use it on yourself for healing if you see that you're like about to die. If you see that there's no health back anywhere near you, if you don't have your support with you, right? And then you can use the self healing.
In 30 seconds.
And like I said, that's gonna happen. Those situations are gonna happen a lot, to where it's like 40 to 50% of the time you're using it for
Put up
healing.
with me.
But on
Put up
default,
with
right,
my
our default setting is
respect.
is actively looking for that nade, that aggressive anti nade. And keep in mind that on top of it being an anti
Group
effect,
up with
so
me.
it's where they can't heal, you're also making it so that they good offense is a good defense, right? So when you're being aggressive and you're landing that nade, that makes the enemy team not be as aggressive. So it saves your team health essentially. Good anti.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Oh, make sure you're backing up a little bit there. You're standing out in the open. Make sure we're standing next to cover. Request healing from your brig, right? Or nade
Get
ourselves.
healed. I will keep you healed.
If our whole team's positioning over on the right side, we might want to... Okay, so now that they're... Yeah, we push forward, rotate with them. I'd probably hold on the bridge above them. If our team's holding close,
Above
yeah,
here?
hold... Yeah, if our team's holding close, hold on the bridge, and then we can nade from above. Right? And then we can just... Once we land the nade, back off underneath.
We need to fall back and we fall back.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep, now we're down 2 people. I want to be slightly more passive. Wait for him to get back. We got a pick. Monkey's back. Chuck a nade in. Yep, good nade. Wait out the DM. Okay, and then sleep afterwards. Good job.
Much better. Die, Peter.
I like that you don't panic when you get dove and people are on top of you, right? Just make sure you're constantly doing that, where you're not panicking. You're being calm. You're waiting till the DM goes out or they're out of the bubble, right? For the monkeys out of the bubble, so that you can look to sleep them. Okay, now we didn't talk about ults. Who are we looking to use Nano on here?
Either monkey when he's not enraged, or we could do an EMP Sombra.
Probably Summer's
Brig?
not going to usually be the pick. I'd probably say, yeah, Monkey or Reinhardt, and then Reaper's be number 1 if he has his ult.
Reaper.
And then
Reaper, okay.
whichever one out of Ryan or Monkey is closest to the enemy team or is the lowest. Right, Sombra is gonna be pretty inconsistent. Brig is inconsistent because of how much health she has.
The pain.
Well, probably Nano. That sucks.
Ooh. Unlucky, unlucky.
Nice sleep. But, oh, unfortunate. Okay, yep. So usually you don't want to have to nano skill shot characters. So characters that require aim, because that's where it gets very, you don't get a lot of consistent value out of it. And Brig doesn't have
Yeah.
enough health, so the other characters are going to be better.
Okay. So Reaper or Reaper, Ryan, and then Monkey.
Yep. Reaper with a nano, or sorry, with his ultimate, right, would be number 1. And then I'd probably say Ryan and Monkey are pretty even. I'd say whichever one is closer to the enemy team when you're trying to look for it, and whichever one's a lower HP. And then besides that, Reaper on by himself without nano is also pretty decent if you don't have another good nano target. And now I'm looking for a scope nade. What I'd probably be looking to do right about now, just wait for the shield to go down, or we can try to get in around the shield. Mind, you do have to arc that a little bit more.
Get back in the fight.
Remember that when you're using that nade tech, you're lining up your ult charge with and like with the person you're trying to get it on.
Get in there.
Oh, that was unneeded.
Oh. Yep. Make sure when you're looking to nano somebody that the Reinhardt's on top of people, not about to
I
run
wasn't
away.
expecting him to dive out.
60 seconds remaining.
Yep. The best time to nano the Reinhardt's gonna be like when he's swinging. Oh, pay attention to our health there. Right. Self nade.
I'm not ready to hang it up.
That's gonna be how we can self-improve is by watching like deaths like that and we go, huh, wait, we still had nade available, right? Those are the types of things where we can go, okay, well we probably should have used nade, probably should have used sleep. Maybe we used nade or sleep poorly. Maybe we're in a wrong position, and then if we think about those things after we die, that's how we can self-improving it better by ourselves. You know, we probably want to look to back out. We only have 2 people here. Probably are not gonna win that.
Stop the payload.
You're going to live.
So right now we're probably looking to take high ground.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Yep. Good nade. Alright, you're always gonna try to max out value with nade like that. You just got 3 people in it.
The dragon consume you.
I have your back.
This will protect us.
Get real.
Right now we probably still want to be backing up because we do only have 3 people here currently.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Good nano. Good nade. Probably launch it and sleep in there too, right whenever we see a chance for it.
Ooh,
Go.
try to get that Moira.
Thank you. Get back in the fight.
Thank you.
Oh. Watch your own health. Make sure we're not tossing a nade when we're sitting pretty low
Position.
by ourselves.
Walk it off. You're going to be
Okay.
okay.
We're kind of first checkbox, right? Make sure we're in line of sight of our team. Kind of out. Oh, unfortunate. Kind of out of line of sight of most of our team there.
أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Thanks.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Mecha activated. I'm back in the fight.
Man, when you're up against a squishy target, right? Nade does a third of their health, so you're stopping them from healing and doing a third of their health. So when you're just dueling somebody like that Junkrat, tossing in a nade's gonna be the best thing you can do to win that duel.
60
Okay.
seconds remaining.
Group up at my position.
Rally to me.
Okay. Who are we nanoing? Oh,
Oh my.
Powered up. Get in there.
Make
Did
sure-
I get him? Yes.
make sure we're paying attention to tab, and we're also paying attention to when he says, "Oh,
That's it for me.
ooh." Very nice. Yep. Make sure we're pressing tab and we're paying attention to ult, right? In between every single fight, we should be pressing tab so we can see who's closest to ults, right? Because we need to see when Genji has ult, we need to see when Reaper has ult. Genji's our new number 1, Reaper's our number 2, and then Monkey Orion are our number 3/4. We have a lot of great nano targets, so we just want to make sure we're paying attention to those ults because knowing like Genji has ults changes us nanoing him, and us nanoing a Genji like 2 seconds late is a lot of the times gonna screw his ultimate a lot.
Okay.
So when we know that, oh, unfortunate. When we know that we have a blade coming up, he was saying I have blade. That means he's looking for it.
Take your medicine.
Oh my.
I will shield you.
My ultimate is ready. The demon becomes me.
Sorry, man. Don't got it yet.
Get back in the fight.
I'm under attack.
If we don't have anybody on us, keep in mind we can look to chuck in sleeps and nades, right? Or like nade, yes, you get it, but also sleeps too, right? Like that.
I have your back.
Thanks.
No, game.
Ooh. Well,
So I think you did a lot better there, right? We're looking for our needs a lot more often. Sleeps, we're looking for semi-often. I like to see you, whenever you know that you don't have pressure on you, I'd like to see you launch those in more often. And then besides that, I think we had decent positioning. Big thing though is make sure you're also paying attention to your ults, right? So pay attention to who's the best targets, and then also in between fights we're pressing tab so we can see who has ultimates.
okay.
Right, so you can probably look to just get into another game now, because I don't have anything to talk about.
So I should probably be looking to throw my nades more during like 1v1 battles, like with that Junkrat. I probably should have thrown my nade right away.
Yep, right away, or just like as the secondary shot. A lot of times a good way to burst people or burst heal or burst damage is kind of a shoot, nade, shoot combo.
Traveling to Mumbai.
Oh, this one is backfill.
Alright.
Hmm.
Probably go main as we don't have time to rotate high ground. Right, you have to think about the time too.
Get in here. Let them up.
Oh,
No.
Make sure you're calling that out if you're in again in a team environment where people are listening. Call that out, and then on top of that, I think it's actually funny. Sometimes if you know that you're very confident in landing that shot, because I think you're very good at landing sleeps. If you're confident that you can land that, especially since he's a big fat target that you can hit very easily, call it up beforehand. Say I'm looking for nade on monkey. Don't touch him, right?
Okay.
Or I said nade. I'm looking for sleep on monkey.
I'll keep you healed.
No, I got you. I got you.
Okay, who are we nanoing here? We always want to think about it when we're like 80, 90 to it.
Either the soldier, the reaper, or the Rhine.
Yep. Which right now, if we don't have any ults, so we probably want to go. Now we want to back up or die, either one. That's a situation where if you don't think you can get out, which that was my bad for calling to try to get out. If everyone's looking at you and you're about to die, you can't really stay or try to get out, or you have to try to go and die.
For retirement anyway.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Roadhog.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I'm going whole hog.
Min. Heal up.
Watch your spam jumping. Make sure you're not. I'll talk about it in a second. My bad.
I see. You're going to. Healing enough. Min.
Tactical visor activated.
Good sleep. Watch your spam jumping as jump just continuously holding down jump can make it so that it's very easy to headshot you, especially the higher up in the ranks you go. When you go up, you have to come down, so it's a predictable animation. So it's not going to be a make it or break it thing to make you climb, but it is just something to keep in mind. It's more of a slight techie thing.
Okay.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Okay. Right now, I'd probably be positioning up on top of up top on the
Here?
high ground. Yep, I'd be on the grass stuff onto our left. There's like a little.
Oh, that.
No,
I see what
nope.
you mean.
No. The
Oh.
one that one right there.
Up here.
This one
okay.
you can actually
Like up
climb
there?
that. Yep.
It's just
Oh, unfortunately, we're too busy talking to me. It's my bad for talking. That's my bad for the last fight there. I was kind of confusing you.
No, I confuse my lefts and the rights. Oof.
This is much
Alright,
better
coming
than
up on
the
84 on our
one.
nano, so we're thinking, okay, what are we doing with it once we have it?
Either the soldier or the hog.
Yep. Soldier and hog are pretty even, you're going based on distance, okay? Who's close is the enemy team close or far? Right? And if hog's far away from the enemy team, then it might not be a good nano. Hog's close range, soldier's long range. Soldier's probably gonna be the better one, but hog would trump it if he's like right on top of him.
Mhm.
You're going to be okay. It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. The pain is coming.
Grenade.
Adaptive circuit
Okay.
engaged. Reaper.
I will keep you healed. You're powered up. Get in there.
And we're a little bit slow to use the nano. Make sure we're using it earlier because we used it like 3 seconds after hog started ulting.
Огонь по готовности.
Oof.
That's the power.
Damn.
Yep. Also try to look to use their ult earlier in the fight, right? The earlier we use ults, the more value we get out of them.
And like my ult kind of provokes people to push forward or use their own ults.
When the later we use
Take your medicine.
that means that we'll start to like, you know, go if they use I'll explain in a second. Sorry, I'm talking in the middle of the fight again.
Finishing them off.
Go. I'll keep you here. I have your back.
Oh, jeez.
Oof.
Огонь по готовности.
Alright.
Neom Awedic.
That's probably it.
Take more than
That Reaper could hold it?
out of the fight.
No.
Alright, so
That's it.
essentially the earlier we use ults, the more value they're gonna get. So if let's say for example the enemy Ana, right? The enemy Ana uses nano at the very beginning of the fight and we hold on to it for the middle of the fight. That means their nano is getting a healing value, getting damage value, so they're now getting picks. Once they get that first pick in, that means that we are now going to be at a man disadvantage. When we're at that
Okay.
man disadvantage, now we're already at a disadvantage and we're losing that fight. And if we ult, we have less follow up on it. So all ults get less value the later into the fight we use it, especially if they're using ults first. So we want to make sure that we're looking to use our ults first, not holding out into the middle of the fight or even after the fight's already been decided.
Okay.
You just don't want to. The big thing you have to be careful of though is that you're not using it so early that now it's not getting any value because they just back up.
Yeah, okay. And also don't try to wait for like the perfect opportunity.
Yep.
Okay.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah. So here we could probably look to stay on top of gas station. Would be the best
On
place.
top of the gas station? Okay.
Very kind. But I'm
Yep.
comfortable
High
with
ground
where
is
I
always
am.
gonna be a really good place because
It's a
it
good
makes
reminder.
landing nades a lot easier, gives us survivability, and we can see a lot more from high ground.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna go close my door.
Dragon.
No worries.
Watching your back.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Go. Dive deep. أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Okay, there, when Hog's out in the open like that, we look for the nade or we look for the sleep on him, right? And then that punishes him a lot harder.
Get back in the fight.
This is my will.
They're all over me. The battle continues.
Okay, out of line of sight of a lot of our team.
I have your back.
Till Valhalla.
See you later.
Probably looking. Remind me, we got 3 picks. I was about to say we probably want to use our nano, but not anymore. Okay, we're repositioning after each fight, so we're going back up the gas station.
I've seen worse. You're going to live.
Okay, who are we nanoing?
Not the end.
Probably the Ryan because he has his shatter.
Pay attention, there's something happening. Oh,
EMP activated.
You're powered up. Get in there. Die. Take your medicine. Heal up.
hey, pay attention to people being around you so we can look for that sleep a little bit earlier, right? So, keep in mind as well that when you are trying to stay hidden, because you know, for example, you're 1 HP, consider unscope shotting instead of scope shotting, as unscope shots don't have a trail. Scope shots do have a trail, so people can see where it's coming from.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, my friend.
Get back in the fight.
This is not your time.
This will help. I've seen
Ooh.
worse. You're going to live.
All systems checked out. I'll show them.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Move up with me.
I need help. You're covered.
Nothing's gonna stop.
I need assistance.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Okay, Jake, good job paying attention to your front line.
Let the
Big-
dragon consume you.
Hold on to nano a little long here. Okay, got to pick on 2 people though, because now we're not looking for it.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Oh,
EMP
oh! I got the Sombra. I did not think I would get the Sombra.
You healed.
Make sure we're not. We're paying attention to where teams at, so they're not. So same thing with nade, right? We want to know where nade is, or where our teammates are, so that they don't steal nade. In the same way, we're making sure we know where teammates are at, so they're not stealing our nano.
Watching your back.
By the dragon.
I'm with you.
Come out and face me.
Get healed.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Is that all?
I'm under attack.
Found the enemy. Come and face me. I've got you in my sights.
Oh my goodness, he might get asleep. Make sure you're not straying too far from cover. You're a little far out in the open up there, the high ground. Make sure you're standing more next to corners and cover.
The universum singt for me.
Till Valhalla.
Go to sleep.
Nice sleep.
Healing in a
Oh.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء أو يهان.
Dang.
All right, so they just capped point, and we've pretty much run out of time for the session. So would you be able to leave this game?
Yeah, no worries.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna stop the recording here.